Welcome to the afternoon. My name is Monroe. I am the executive officer of the Longleaf Realtors Association, which means for the last 25 years, I have managed this multiple listing service. At the same time, for the last 25 years, I have traveled around the United States as a speaker and a writer. I've written 2 books. I'm working on a 3rd. And so I see both sides of our industry. Street level real estate. I was a realtor well, I still am, but I was a realtor on the street selling like you guys for 20 years, 30 years. After a while, you just run out. Handouts in there, pick one up, come on and join us. Y'all must have ridden the bus. Handouts in the other room, grab one each. They all came at once. So let's begin at the beginning and figure out how we got here. So the real estate industry has been under attack for about 10 years. I have watched lawsuits pop up from time to time, New England, California. They first came at us to say, y'all are not independent contractors, you're employees. There was a lawsuit out of California and one out of the Northeast that contended that we should wipe out the status of that sort of independent contractor status. And they were both thrown out. And, you know, the IRS sees you as an independent contractor. So the lawsuits failed. And big business tried us. There were some agents out of California who wanted to do some not so correct business practices. They filed a suit. So I've watched this build over the last 10 years. And it comes not just at the real estate industry, but all business is under attack today in our society. And it's a philosophical shift in our country away from capitalism, from free enterprise to socialism, and taxing you more and more and spending that money as the government sees fit instead of leaving it in your hands so you can spend it. It's your money, you earned it. But last year, a lawsuit was filed in Missouri that contended 4 things. It said, y'all are antitrust, you're driving the cost of real estate up, you're defrauding sellers, and I can't remember what that is. You charge too much. Good people of the state of Missouri did not all gather together at Wendy's one afternoon and say, we should file a lawsuit. This was 6 law firms who trolled into our industry deep enough to go, we think we could win a class action lawsuit. Those 6 attorney firms spent $12 million to get this to a trial. They expect a return. It's business. All they're doing is trolling. And so the good people of the state of Missouri didn't create this. It was attorneys created. So they got it to a trial, and the prosecution took 2 weeks. The NAR defense took 2 days. The jury took 2 hours. And it was an 8-person jury. I don't know why not 12. And 2 hours later, they said, you're guilty on all counts. The judgment came back $1.7 billion. Let's clarify, that is $1,700 million. Did I do that right? Yeah. These are large money items. Oh, because it's a class action suit, it was treble damages. It ended up at $5.5 billion. $500 million. Somebody's got to pay this bill. So the National Association was sued. Handouts are in that room behind me. National Association was sued. Major real estate companies were sued. 24 MLSs were named. I think it was 24. were named in this lawsuit. So it wasn't just the National Association of Realtors. They came after our industry and the way we do business. So NAR is running front on this. The last time I looked at their financials, the entire wealth of the National Association was $900 million. That would be if they sold all the desks and all the furniture and everything they own, 900 million. They're bankrupt. There's nowhere to go. So the National Association of Realtors settled because you can't pay this bill, and the attorneys know it, and all the attorneys are after is money. So they settled for, I think it was 497 million. Wow, what a deal. I mean, you know, we can afford that bill, and we'll give you, I think it's 197 million this fall, 100 million the next year, and 100 million the next year. Yeah. Now here's the fun part. The attorneys get to keep about a third to 50%, somewhere in there on a class action lawsuit. So they're making money. And then when we add up all the settlements again and again with the smaller pieces, this settlement has grown. Now the attorneys firms are going to manage about $1 billion, which is 1,000 million. One of the fun facts for you at home and those folks in the room, you might want to jot this date down. It's August 17th. And the August 17th date is when the attorneys firms that won this lawsuit have to post what they call notification. So on August 17th, you and anybody that bought a house between 2020 and today is going to start getting either postcards in the mail, emails, or see it on billboards or television or wherever. Oh, a class action lawsuit has been won. You could get some money, but you have to come to our website and register for the money, which is going to be about $30 a person. This is insanity. The consumers are not going to benefit. The attorneys will. So I may be opening myself to a lawsuit. This is my last year working. Come in and get me. I should have said that. But so all this to be said is this is business. The attorneys now have to manage this account. They have 5 or 6 attorney firms. We're going to be doing this for years and years to come. Handouts behind you in that room there. We're going to be playing with this for years and years and years and years. This is going to be like asbestos. Have you been defrauded by a realtor? Oh my God, contact us at BR549. You could be due compensation. Welcome to the current world we live in. So all that aside, I mean, the only thing we were not affected in the state of North Carolina. And do I have my folks from New Orleans on? If so, just put yes in the chat box. There's supposed to be a company down there. Talked with their owner and they were going to join us. If you're out of state or outside of North Carolina, just drop in the chat box your state. So when I get to agency and that sort of stuff, I'll make sure I'm clear. So what does this mean to you? What does this mean to your business? In my opinion, having been in the real estate business literally all my life, you have been handed the keys to the kingdom. You've been given the greatest opportunity known to mankind if you seize the day. If you will choose to adapt your business to the changes, you'll be so far ahead of the rest of the world. It's not even fun.
Because nobody understands really what it is.
Because nobody understands it, and they're not here. So let me give you some background statistics on your competitors. In the Longleaf Realtor Association, we have about, last time I looked, 2,800 people in our MLS. So far this year, 1,800 have had one closing or more. That means 1,000 people have not made a dime this year in our industry. You have no competition. Let me give you another statistic. In 36 months, the failure rate is 45%, which means if you join this association today, within 36 months, there's a 45% chance you won't be here. Oh, in can't do it in my head. 5 years, what is that, 60 months? Yeah, in 5 years, we have a 55% failure rate. That's nationwide. Half of this industry is always coming or going. I mean, I got looks around here like, this is terrible. Yeah, it is. Let me give you the other one. 10% of the agents in our association will sell 90% of all the houses.
Yeah.
No question. 20% will sell 80%. I don't know about you, that's wearing me out. I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to stand up straight now. It's been a good day. I'm glad y'all came. Drag my chair up here. We got to find crayons or something. Emily, if you're listening, if you can find me something that doesn't smell like this, I would appreciate it. Oh, my God.
Definitely strong, that's for sure.
So you have no competition out there. There's just no competition. Now, the question is, what does the future look like? I can show you in 3 minutes how to build the greatest real estate business ever. Y'all want it?
Yeah.
And we could skip the other 3 hours and just go right to this. I would paint these on the wall, but they don't stick. God, I got to look at one of these. Maybe I'll avoid that. Emily, oh, she's off the one. Look in that first drawer in the wooden cabinet and see. Oh, she's been in and out of there. God, it's pretty tough.
Contact high.
Oh, I'm the contact. Yeah, I'm doing well here. Here's the keys to the kingdom. I'll just want to give them to you up front and then we'll work through all the rest. Here's the keys to the kingdom. Number 1, stop online purchases. Stop buying leads online. Okay, they're skinny, but they'll work. Yeah, stop buying stuff online because those people are not going to go through this process anymore. Build a relationship with your clients.
Just how it used to be anyway.
Just how it used to be anyway. There is absolutely no change in how we do business. Relationships are the key. And here's what attorneys and Wall Street and nobody else understands. This is not, let me back up. Wall Street looks at the real estate transaction. We are a $90 billion a year industry. $90 billion of commissions are earned in the United States. Wall Street wants it. They run stocks, bonds, mutual funds, financial transactions. They go, this is the largest financial transaction ever in the whole history of mankind. You realize that the housing stock in the United States is the largest investment pool on earth. It's bigger than the New York Stock Exchange. Housing stocks, the value of housing in the United States last time I looked was 40 trillion. The New York Stock Exchange was like 20 trillion. It parks, even commercial real estate, all the buildings, all the malls, all the hotels in the country are only 16 trillion. Housing in the United States is the largest gathering of wealth on our planet. And so Wall Street wants your commissions. They don't understand it's not a financial transaction. It's an emotional transaction. It has to do with the heart and the mind and a family and a relationship. It has nothing to do, it doesn't have nothing to do with the money, but it has everything to do with the relationship you form. So gather together your friends. You need more friends and stay in touch with them. This is not postings on Facebook. All those people are not really your friends.
Sure.
Some of you will get that on the way home. You need to go interact with other humans on a regular recurring basis, wherever the humans live. All right, but they don't live on it. They live out here. Yeah, some of them. A lot of realtors live on Facebook. They don't live, I mean, you live at the ballpark, you live at the grocery store, you live at church, you live in Sunday school, you live in the community, you live with your neighbors and your friends. And that's where relationships are built. Now, let me just ask you this. I'm way off topic. I did not mean to go here, but y'all drug me here. What does it cost you to have more friends?
Headaches.
Time. Yeah, just time. How many of you have kids? Yeah. How many of those kids live in a house? Yeah. How many of those kids' parents, as they grow, you realize if you have children and you feed them, they grow and get bigger. I have a nephew who is going to be 14 this fall. He's 6'1". He's a monster. He weighs 150 pounds. That big around. And, I mean, they came in from Alaska and I was like, oh, hello. His hair is another 3 inches. He has the most gorgeous head of copper, red, curly. Yeah. Yeah. He had 3 girlfriends the first week at Cape Fear High School. Junior high, wherever it is. I'm sorry. But when you go to the ball game and your kids are involved, when you go to wherever you go, there is so much business around you. So understand this, watch this. We buy and sell a house every 10 years. Now this has been updated. A-R-S. I can't spell, so y'all create all the spelling for any word you would like. We buy and sell every 10 years. It used to be 7 to 5, 5 to 7 years. We're not moving that fast right now. We buy and sell every 10 years. That means 10% of the US housing stock will sell this year. That means if you're in a room with 10 people, one of them is buying or selling. Your job is to find out who.
In our town, it doesn't move faster than 10 years.
No, 10% turnover rate. So don't be a realtor. Don't do stupid stuff like this. How do you know anybody like Barson? How do you know? How do you know you go to church and do that? They will hate you. Don't do that. Don't do that. What do? You forward people. F-O-R-D, write it down. F-O-R-D, sell the Mercedes, get rid of the BMW, buy you a Ford. F stands for family and friends. O stands for occupation. R stands for recreation. D stands for dreams, their future. All you should become is somebody who's interested in other people's world. How's your mom? How's your friend? What'd y'all do for the holiday? What are y'all doing next week? How's your work going? Is your son still playing basketball? The 6'1" is going to play football at Cape Fear this year. He's a wide receiver. I'm like, oh my God, somebody's going to break him in half, but that's all right. We can glue him back together. And we're going to be at those games. Tell me where you're going on vacation this year, dreams. What are you going to do? Where are your kids going to college? Are they going to go to work? Please get your children into the construction business. There's such a big future. College, yeah, you go right ahead. You get into building trades. Oh. I'm not sure I can say this with the recording going, but my daughter has her master's degree. My son crashed and burned first year of college. He is now doing renovations on the UNC hospital. He makes more money than his sister.
My daughter's 18 and a mechanic.
Bingo.
She's got tiny hands.
Yeah.
So she
can get all down in the.
They absolutely love her there.
Oh yeah.
She can untwist things, like they'll flip her upside down, but she's like.
Yeah. We just hold you in the.
5 minutes, well, like it takes her like 5 seconds to do it.
Yeah.
It could have been like a couple hours.
Because they'd have had to take all
Right,
stuff
they would have
apart.
had to remove
Yeah.
things.
Buddy of mine's son years ago went to trade school to become a diesel mechanic. Caterpillar hired him for 75 grand.
Right.
They fly him wherever he's got to go because you can't move that bulldozer once it goes. It's there. They fly him in, put him in hotels, here you go, fixes it, fly him somewhere else, living the life. We're way off topic.
So.
No, we're not, because we're talking about people and their lives. What drives real estate is change. Kids graduate from college, change. They need an apartment, they need a house, they got married, having a child. Any change in somebody's life, grandma dies, change. Hate it for you. Marriage, love it. Divorce, love it. I always tell people either congratulations or condolences for your divorce, whichever one applies. But think about this, marriage creates 2 listings and 1 buyer. Divorce creates 1 listing and 2 buyers. I mean, come on. So how many of you have a divorce attorney as a friend in your relationship? How many of you have CPAs? How many of you see? It's so simple for us to do this. Now, if you build relationships with an agent, or in reverse, if you build relationships with people who know you and they like you and they trust you, are all these changes going to be a problem?
No.
Not a bit. They're going to call you up and say, we're ready to sell. They're going to call you up and say, we're ready to buy. Because they know you and like you and trust you. And that's the key. They got to know you. They've got to like you. And they've got to trust you. And how long have I been teaching this? I mean, 100 years. And it's never changed. Largest financial transaction in the front of this building is a young lady named Emily, who said this day, we were in a discussion about stuff, and this morning she said, if I'm going to buy or sell the largest financial transaction of my life, I want somebody that I know, like, and trust, and she's never had my class, and I want to pay them because they're going to protect my interests. We're done. We're done.
Yeah.
All this is just paperwork. Now, if you're sitting in front of a stranger and you're trying to convince them to pay you before you ever get in a car with them, that's a hard sell. You know, it's like going to the car lot and go, well, I'd like to test drive that one. Go, well, you got to buy it first. We're going to have a hard day here. Can't I just see if I like it? But if I already know you and like you and trust you, and other people have recommended you, we ain't gonna have this conversation. We're just gonna do business. Because here's the secret. Buyers are still gonna buy houses. Sellers are still gonna sell houses. The volume of our market is not gonna change. What's gonna change is who they use. Because people like living indoors. I mean, it's, you know, and running water and refrigeration and all that. Oh,
What was the deal on that Ford?
the Ford?
With the D.
Oh, dreams. Ford, the last one is your dreams. It's a future question to put you into a pretend state. In other words, so anybody in here got a vacation plan for the rest of the year? Where are you going? Germany.
We're excited.
Oh, just Germany, fly in.
So we're staying for Oktoberfest, but we'll probably go into Italy and Austria.
Yeah.
So we're excited.
So you're going to go to Germany and then Oktoberfest, and you won't remember anything after that. And then you go to Italy, and yeah. So she just went. If you watched her, her whole being changed as soon as
You asked the question.
I asked the question.
It was important.
Bingo.
Exactly.
See?
And got her to start talking.
Yeah.
Right.
And this
Take
ain't
the focus off
complex
you.
stuff.
And it gets them to share.
Right.
It's interact.
Right.
Find out.
Right.
They love me talk.
This is good manners. What a concept. Now, is this about you?
No.
No, it's about them.
Are you taking notes? Absolutely. And then are you gonna call later because Timmy had his project and she was stressed? So ask, give her a call because
Right.
everybody else in her family is not even answering the phone.
Right.
She's stressed.
Right.
I
I think we're,
Good.
this is, when you come up here and see,
Yeah.
let's see if I can get you on camera.
I wanted to check, because I know you were already stressed out with our deals. how's life?
Right.
Man, they love you. If you empathize with them on that level with their family, you're in.
You are.
See what, she just taught a lesson in how to sell. Because
I'm a new agent.
what's their job?
Not long. I've actually just made my first 2 deals in like 2 weeks.
You think she's gonna make it?
August 15th, they're closing. So what's your name? I'm Samantha, at On It.
Hey, Samantha.
Hi.
And she's on
it.
We'll all remember Samantha.
See?
See?
Exactly.
Mr. and Miss Buyer or seller, your job is to run your life. My job is to help you with real estate. Can I spell? I'm an expert at what I do. You're an expert at what you do. Why don't you go home and do what you do and let me do what I do?
Okay, I'm sorry.
How simple is that? And the biggest thing you can learn to do is ask questions. Learn that the Lord gave you 1 mouth and 2 ears. There's a reason you ought to talk about half as much as you listen. Yeah, you're dad. I'm a dad. I'm actually a granddad. I got pictures. You want to see her? Oh, she's so cute. Oh, Mark Gibbons got so many more than I do.
I don't think we can count them anymore.
Well, he's at 13. You realize Mark Gibbon, our buddy, has written 13 books. He has 13 grandkids. I'm like, and he'll call me and go, how many books have you got? I'll be calling you, Mark. Ask questions. It's the fish hook of sales. How's your mama? How's the world? How's your job? I just got, yeah, how's your mama now? That would be Southern for everybody else. You know, what are y'all doing for the weekend? How are the kids? How's school going? How's football practice? Just taking an interest in another human builds relationships, because nobody's, like you said, nobody's taking an interest in other people's
Works with me.
world.
And they're like glued to me. They call me all the time.
Well, yeah.
I don't even have to call them. They're calling me.
And that means we got trust. Now, how big of a circle of people do you need? Well, it depends on how much business you want. Because if you have 10 people that know you, like you, and trust you, you're gonna get a sale this year.
Okay.
But if you had 100 people that know you, like you, trust you, you get 10 sales this year. Oh, that's just from them. And everybody knows at least 10 transactions that are gonna happen in their world today. See, everybody knows somebody who's buying or selling. My whole neighborhood turned over this spring. I live in right off Robinson Street, 60 houses down in there. There was probably 10 transactions happening. Boom. And we're interested. So they tell you, you know, we have the cookout or the 4th of July or whatever. Oh, we got a job transfer. Does anybody know a good realtor? Well,
And your
that,
neighborhood.
yeah, in my neighborhood. No, they don't know what you do. You think everybody knows what you do because they're not paying you any attention.
Right.
They're running their life.
Right.
Your friends think, oh, you're somehow in real estate. My friends think I'm somehow a teacher and a speaker. And they're not quite sure what I do. And the truth is, this is the greatest gift you've ever been given. Because if you'll build a business like this, you're market proof. I mean, this association will do about 12. No, we won't do 12,000 closings this year. We'll do 10,000 closings. Just this association. In the nation, we'll do just under 5 million residential resales. And we'll build and sell another 1 million new construction. So we'll be almost at 6 million total sales this year. How many of those do you really need? I mean,
As many as I can get.
yeah, at some point you can't handle anymore. And you'll get there. Not to worry, you'll get there.
Oh, I got rice and beans right now. So.
Yeah, you'll, well, and you build your business to the point of where you cannot handle it
Where
anymore.
you start off with 1 phone and then you're like, oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I
And
get
then
2
next thing
phones.
you know, you've got 5 phones and you're like, 4 systems over here, just please go
Yeah,
away.
yeah, just- And the trick is, if you run this marketing people come to you.
Yeah.
You never chase. And that's when you know you've made it. When people are coming to you to call you, to ask you, well, tell me about that. I read this online. What's my house worth? We don't want to sell. I got to do something for the accountant. Can you tell me what my house is worth? When you start getting those kind of calls, it means you have reached trusted advisor status, which means they're using you. How many of you have a CPA? Yeah. How many of you have an attorney? How many of you have someone that cuts your hair? You trust them all the same. And you set up appointments to see all those people, right? Especially the haircut. I mean, we've rearranged vacation because, oh no, I have an appointment with whatever her name is, and I've had it for the last 90 days.
Yeah.
Get your hair like mine and you won't have to worry about all that. But y'all are a different sort. And we love you for it. But
We didn't do it.
I mean, I can get an appointment with an attorney quicker than you can get an appointment with your hairdresser.
Right.
I mean, I really can. I mean, it's nuts. But these are the people you trust. Well, that's your job, is to become that person for real estate. Yeah, and they'll wait. They will wait to speak to you because of your knowledge and expertise. And now you have built a business. Candalee Quigley, one of our realtors, was teaching a class in here yesterday, and I heard her. I was in the kitchen, and she told him, she said, if real estate's costing you money, it's a hobby. If you're making money, it's a business. She said, if every day is costing you money, this is a hobby for you. You need to find a new hobby. Tennis is cheaper, golf maybe, or fishing or something. But if you're making money, now it's a business. Well, the business is people. It's not real estate. You're not in the sales business. You're in the people business. And the more people that know you and like you and trust you, business flows to you. It's so much fun. Now we do actually have to talk about all this, and I'm glad we're recording it. Oh, they're sending me emojis online that are laughing and stuff. So let's go to our outline, and we'll talk through this in light of what we've talked about. We're going to take a break here in about 10 or 15 minutes. And oh, somebody said the chat is disabled. No. How we doing online, folks? Anybody out there? I'm getting a message that the chat is disabled. Oh, we're good. All right. Cool. So chat. I'll do that. All right. It was disabled, begging at the beginning, but not now. All right. And let me send everybody at home. Okay. This is the for everybody at home. These are the handouts. They're in a Dropbox folder with all sorts of NAR documents and everything. And what you want to find in that Dropbox folder is success after the new MLS policy on commissions. And I want you to turn to page 4. And it will look like this. For those of you at home, you can see it. At the top, it says summary of MLS policy changes. Now, why are we making policy changes here at Longleaf Pine Realtors MLS? The reason is we don't want to get sued. We have been entrusted with managing your association properly. And so we have signed addendum B to the NAR settlement. We have agreed to the settlement. We are not going out of bounds because we have reserves that an attorney would look at and go, hey, this is worth a lawsuit. Let's pop them, get their money and put it in our bank account. Okay, I don't want to play that game with your money. I mean, it's the members association, not your money, it's the association's. But so we are adhering to the NAR policy. So I want to walk you through the rules that we're all under now. And then we'll talk about questions. Number 1. It says we're going to eliminate and prohibit any requirement of offers of compensation in the MLS. Starting August the 1st for Longleaf Pine Realtors, there will not be an ability to offer a commission to anyone else through the MLS. That's gone. Number two, we will retain the words cooperation. In other words, if somebody comes in and wants to show one of your houses, you gotta cooperate. Whether you pay them or not, you gotta cooperate. Number three, we're gonna eliminate and prohibit MLS participants, that would be you, and sellers from making any offers of compensation in the MLS to a buyer's broker or a buyer's representative. Did we just say that? Yeah, and we're gonna say it one more time on item number 4. Require the MLS to eliminate all broker compensation field and compensation information in the MLS. Oh, let me summarize. There's not gonna be a way to put compensation in the MLS. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah,
Yeah, which is what's so confusing about this whole thing. It's so silly in one aspect, but obviously it wasn't silly, they won. So we don't offer it in the MLS, and
Right.
what you're gonna have in my eyes.
okay, wait a minute.
Okay,
You can't offer it in the MLS. Where else can you offer it? Anywhere,
yeah,
not Zillow.
Not really.
No. Anywhere. Front yard, billboards. You can get an airplane to fly over town. You can put it on your website. You can do smoke signals. You can do anywhere you want to, but it cannot be through the MLS or something the MLS feeds, and we feed Zillow. So you can't go to Zillow and alter our feed. You can't go to IDX and alter that feed. So if it feeds from the MLS, if it comes from the MLS, you can't do it. Now, here's the fun part. I've been in this class before. You can't put it in the comments. You can't say,
you're gonna pay.
Stan and Debbie will never find it down here in the comments. Oh, and by the way, we'll pay a commission. Because we have the little policeman icon and we have it set up. If you use the word pay or you use the word commission or compensate or any of those keywords, that listing will flag. First time offense, first time
Okay.
is $1,000.
Yeah.
Second offense, you are out of the MLS. No question. Why? Because we don't want to get sued. We've made an agreement. So I've done this before. You'll get home tonight and go, I could take a picture of some fruit on a table, a certain number of fruits sitting on a table, and put that as one of the pictures. I could take a picture of the clock at a certain time of day to tell people this is how much.
Like a video game.
Yeah, like a video game. How can we hide? You start hiding it, we're gonna come find you. Because we've got to protect our interests. So no, you can't put it in MLS. Now, the other thing, we'll go to number 5. The MLS says the MLS cannot create, facilitate, or support any non-MLS mechanism for you to make those compensations. So we can't all sit here and go, look, just don't tell anybody, but we're going to come over here and create Zan's secret website emporium for real estate, and that's where everybody's going to put their commissions. Can't do it. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already, you're going to get pounded by people going, we have found the solution for MLS. All you have to do is come to Bob's. Have you already got these emails? You know, come to Bob's Real Estate Emporium. We are protected from the lawsuits. Everybody can put their commissions here. Wrong. Well, you're welcome to do that. But it's like driving down the interstate. The speed limit says 70. You can go as fast as you want to until you meet the state patrolman. You can do anything you want to. And as long as you're willing to pay or you got good attorneys. So whatever I tell you and those at home viewing, don't worry, you can do anything you want to. The trick is, do you have the money to back it up or the legal advice that tells you yes? So I'll come to you in just a second. Because I had forgotten what I was going to say. You can do whatever you want to. And here's the trick. We're not making the rules. We're just telling you what the MLS has got to do. Y'all got to build your own business out there. So, and And it's not a problem until it's a problem, because there's always somebody figuring out a way to work around this. You had a question?
Who's actually going to be policing that?
The question is, who's gonna be policing it? Our staff is gonna be policing whatever you put in our MLS. And the feeds from here are monitored. There's just not gonna be any way to install commissions after it leaves here. So who's gonna actually monitor it? There's 2,700 realtors that are gonna tattletale on it.
Gotcha. That's what.
They call here every day. Did you see what she did on that listing? Oh my God, every day. I mean, we even have our favorites. They call 23 times now. She didn't put the school sign. You need to straighten her up because.
I did not know that was the thing.
You didn't know, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, half of them aren't selling houses, so they just have the best time. Oh, yeah. And Debbie McFadden gets all those calls. It's hilarious. We have our top 10, most ridiculous. Oh, yeah. We're gonna start a reality TV show. Oh, yeah. It's a hoot. Oh, come on with your
If
question.
you guys are policing it, somebody calls in and tattletales, how do you assess a fine to that person that they're tattling?
We verify that you violated the rules, and there you are. I mean, if you got it in print, we got you. So number 6. We must prohibit the use of MLS data or data feeds directly or indirectly to establish or maintain a platform of offers of compensation from multiple brokers. Read that. Y'all can't all get together this weekend and create your own website and talk about sharing commission. We must terminate you from the MLS. Number 7, we reinforce that MLS participants and subscribers must not, and the MLS must not enable the ability to filter out or restrict the MLS listings that are communicated to customers or clients based on commissions. In other words, you can't search by commissions. You've never been able to do that in our MLS, but I know other MLSs that absolutely can. Oh, yeah. Y'all don't understand. I move around the United States. There's some wild stuff out there going on. Number 8, I want him to start telling stories. Require compensation disclosures to sellers and prospective buyers and sellers, which means on your contracts for listings and your contracts for buyers, you actually have to tell them what you're going to earn. Well, thank you. We have 2 members, Laurie Linder and Jimmy Townsend, that are on the contract form from here for the state. Thank them the next time you see them, because your listing contract for years has said, oh, Mr. Seller, you're paying our firm this. And oh, by the way, we're going to take part of that fee, this part, and give it to a buyer's agent. So your state, that's why there was never a lawsuit in North Carolina, because your contracts are good. Your buyer's agency form clearly says, I'm working with you and I'm going to pay you this. We'll talk about working for free in a little bit, and you're welcome to work for free if you want to, or you can show your value and get paid. Number 9, we must require MLS participants working with a buyer to enter into a written buyer's agreement with the buyer prior to touring a home. Now, this question was asked last week with the attorney, who's going to monitor that? I ain't coming to your office to see if you've got a buyer's agency agreement before you show a house. I ain't doing that. We're not doing that. It's not our job. But that'll take care of itself. When you work with a buyer without a contract and they want to buy a house that doesn't pay a cross-sale commission and you end up working for free, you ain't gonna do that much. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I like eating. I like living indoors, feeding my children, you know, all that stuff. So those are the changes. And they'll be reflected in your new contracts, which are out, and you should be using them now. If you ignored the email that you got from the Real Estate Commission and the North Carolina Association of Realtors, go back, get on zip forms. Is that where y'all get your contracts? Zip forms? Make sure you're using the latest and greatest updated contract. Fair enough?
So describe, if I'm not going too far ahead in your
Come on.
class, like, how did you, because of the lawsuit and the news today, now you have buyers and sellers confused.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't understand exactly, which we don't even really understand, so how do you go about from this point to present to a listing? Or for that matter, to talk to a buyer about how this change affects us and what we do about it?
So her question is, in case y'all didn't hear it, how do we do this in presentation form? That's where we're going. Because the explanation of all this, I mean, we've been here an hour. We took I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes to talk about the history or how we got here. But the contracts will help you, but we need to build some conversations
There we go.
that you would have with sellers and with buyers. So before we finish today, I want to talk about the 10 reasons why a seller should pay a buyer's agent. I want to talk about the 10 reasons why a seller should not pay a buyer's agent. Because you're going to hear these at the kitchen table. I want to talk about the 10 reasons a buyer should be paying. I want to talk about the 10 reasons a buyer should not be paying. And I want to talk about how you're going to market it. So we first need to understand agency. And I think before let's see. I'm doing good. Y'all all right for about 10 more minutes? Y'all okay at home? Yeah, go get something to eat. They're not paying attention. Are y'all paying attention at home? There's going to be a test, but only for those of you at home today. Let's talk about the new forms right quick, and then we'll take a little break. Is that all right with y'all? Oh, they're here. Look at them. They're jumping on. I'm here. I frightened y'all with the, there's gonna be a test later. Yeah. And nobody is saying I'm ready for the test. They're all like, yeah, we're here. We're here. All right. So in your Dropbox folder, let's find the listing, exclusive right to sell listing agreement. And it would be in your packet of information. It would be about the next page. And it says exclusive right to sell listing agreement. All right. This is with your sellers. There's no change virtually. If you turn the page, there's a couple of sentences that have been added, and that's it. And it'll be highlighted in yellow. And it says, the amount, format, or rate of real estate compensation is not fixed by law, but it is set by each broker individually and fully negotiable. It's always been that way. Now, what does the sentence set by each broker mean? Does that mean you or the company? And the room said company. The firm you're attached to sets your commission. Are you authorized to alter those at the kitchen table?
No.
Well, it depends on your contractor's agreement.
Yeah.
So when you leave here today, you need to go back. I still have people posting, I'm here. When you go back to your brokerage firm, you need to sit down with your broker in charge. How many of you are brokers in charges? All right, then you need to sit down with yourself. And you need to come clean with your own company policy. It needs to be clearly defined what you will allow agents in your firm to do and not do with commission. And you need to run a sales meeting about that because they need to know. So nothing has changed. It's always been negotiable. And then just because you wouldn't notice the big bold print, they did it again. And it said, seller understands that cooperating compensation, meaning paying to the buyer's agent, is not required. And the seller has no obligation to offer cooperating compensation.
If you just have, when you speak to your clients and you do a buyer orientation and give them all those information.
Wait, what did she say? What were the words she said? A buyer orientation. What a concept.
Yeah.
Instead of just throw them in the car and ride them around till they buy or die. They're stinking up the car. Get out, you know.
Right.
Yeah, why not do a buyer orientation?
Played out and I carried it with me.
Uh-huh.
It's right here and
It shows every step. This is why you were paying me what you're paying me.
We're gonna
If they
steal
have
this
a
on the break.
question,
How many of you want a copy of that?
This is it.
I'll make it.
This-
Y'all
exactly.
distract her, I'll get it.
Exactly.
And the truth
You
is,
wanna know why? And then I don't take it personally. This is not me as an agent that is asking you for your money up front. This is the law now. I am forced to. I apologize that it's awkward. It's awkward for me as well, but here we are.
here we are, right?
It's
And
professional. It's
when they
business.
go to the next agent, they're gonna get the exact same spiel,
Or they should.
or they should. Well, I can tell you how to eliminate that. Use this sentence. Y'all can steal this one at home.
Yeah.
I am certain that other professional agents have already explained this. Write it down, other professional agents. Which means if they've interacted with other agents and they didn't explain it, oops.
See, I've been talking with the new agents, or the other agents, because I am a new agent, so
Yeah.
I've learned a lot, and the ladies that I was speaking with, they didn't know that I was a new agent, because of how I collect myself out as an agent. So, but apparently there's this thing going around where everybody's not submitting feedback to other people, agents are not communicating to other
Oh,
people,
no.
they're doing showing.
Oh, no.
They're not saying anything. That's not.
That's not.
I'm doing my stuff, the first thing I do is I call the agent, I have a showing set up.
What a
I
concept.
called them, what do you have on this property that can help me sell this property? What
Right.
do I need to know right now? What are you offering? What is the limitations? What do we got? Where can we work? Literally, get back to my.
What?
They do, and then they tell me, and then I'm.
Oh.
Exactly.
Well, the eyes on it.
Hang on,
I
hang
thought
on.
that was like, no, that's exactly what I'm supposed to consider, and I keep saying that, call it.
We got one.
You don't want people.
Wait a This is a concept called communication. What a concept. Time to get off your phone, quit the text, park your cars and get into the communication business. Because calling another agent that's got a listing, first of all, that's how you verify that you're gonna get paid or that they're paying a cross-sale commission.
Right.
And second, to find out things about this house that you'll never know by walking through it.
I did one-
Tell me what I need to know about this house. Hang on, hang on,
Sorry.
hang on. All right, hang on. She's been smelling the thing. All right, so that is the exclusive right to sell contract. Shh. Let's go to the second one. Excuse me, skip the second one, I'll do it last. Let's go to the buyer's agency agreement. Y'all will find this in the Dropbox folder that is in the chat box. I keep setting it there because new people are coming in. Exclusive buyer's agency agreement, in the center of the page in yellow, it says the buyer is or is not working with the relocation company. Who cares? Sorry, skip to the bottom. Compensation of firm. Oh my God. Firm acknowledges receipt of a non-refundable retainer fee. Y'all can charge a retainer fee. See your broker. Buyer agrees that the firm's fee for services shall be in the amount of. It can be a dollar amount. Do not insert NA or zero unless you choose to work for free. Insert a specific dollar amount or a specific percentage of the sales price. So the change is, and let's turn the page. Any compensation, provided that any compensation paid by a cooperating listing firm or the seller shall not exceed the amount of fee on the front of this page. Well, oh, hang on. So the statement is, you put a dollar in here. You go, I'll work for $1. Okay, great. And the seller agrees to pay you a substantial fee. You cannot accept it unless you come back to your buyer and renegotiate. I mean, that's what this says. And then in the big bold in the center, buyer understands that one, firm services are not free. If the listing firm or the seller agree to pay our firm all or a portion of this fee that we've stated on this contract, a portion of the purchase price will be paid to a listing firm who will in turn pay the firm as cooperating agent. In other words, Mr. and Ms. Buyer, yeah, this is real confusing. The sales price includes the commission. Yeah, they've never, I mean, haven't we always understood that? The sales price you're paying, that seller's paying commissions, he's paying closing attorneys, he's paying this and that, and the other, all these fees. Now, the court determined that means the price of the house was inflated. No, the price of the house is what the house is. I mean, I'm sitting at home going, heck, I didn't just reduce the price of my house. Did y'all? No. And don't we all have a number in our heads that this is what it should sell for? So, Mr. and Ms. Buyer, a fee or a portion of the fee will be paid to us out of the sales price. And the cooperating compensation offered is not sufficient to cover this fee, then you will pay the difference. In other words, if you charge me X and they're only paying Y, you gotta pay the difference. And now the buyer's got a decision to make. How serious are we? Now think about this. What if they tuck tail and run immediately? Are they a serious buyer?
No.
No,
Or they can't.
they can't afford a house. Right. I mean, yeah, we just saved gas, time, energy, money. I love your buyer's presentation. We all want to copy that and steal it. Question,
One question, okay, so we get to closing,
we get who?
we get to the closing.
Get to the closing.
And the buyer now doesn't want to pay you, or they don't have the money to pay you, how are you verifying that they're gonna pay you at that closing table?
Ah, good question. The question is, for those at home,
You're a lender.
your lender, your lender here in this room, that they have the money up front.
Okay.
And it's a contract for services.
It's on their.
And so the attorney is gonna say at the closing table, the buyer says, wait a minute, I don't remember signing that, I don't wanna pay that.
Right.
Again, it's gonna be on their loan application, it's gonna be on their application, when we put in them, like what they call a, loan estimate, it's gonna be part of their cash to close. So when they look at that amount, a good loan officer is gonna explain that to them, because they're gonna look at that and go, whoa, wait a minute, it's gonna be a lot bigger, because normally they pay what? $8,000 in closing costs.
So it's sort of like confirming what they already know,
Right.
but what one ear and out the other that you've already disclosed. We're coming right behind you, we read the contract and we say this, we're saying it again. So
But you
if
need to
there's any,
communicate.
yeah,
Because I had one last week. And the real estate agent and the lender really need to.
Yeah.
Your lender and your.
yeah.
All right, so wait, I've got to clarify for home. Folks at home could barely hear you.
Oh, so.
So, and when there's multiple people talking at once, they can't hear you at all. So what, we got mortgage people in the room and they're saying, when you write a offer to purchase and it goes to the mortgage company, they're gonna say, are you the buyer paying a fee to your agent? Yes, it is. Here's the contract. At home, they say, will you be expected to send your buyer's agency agreement to the buyer's lender for verification? I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of the transaction. And the truth is, and we're gonna negotiate this when we come back from the break. Can we negotiate a better deal for the buyer? So the buyer's willing to pay you. Seller says, no, I'm not gonna pay you, the agent. Well, can we negotiate a transaction where the commissions are part of the sales price? And that's what the marketplace has driven us to. We didn't invent the way it is. The market drove us here. Because the buyers go, I'd rather finance this into the loan amount. Well, I can't finance the commission if I pay it, but if the seller pays it, I can. Hey, Mr. Seller, would you pay the commission? Now we get to negotiate sales price, fees, closing costs, all that sort of stuff.
We've done it already.
Isn't that how we've done it already? They've just broken we spent the last 50 years creating a system, the best in the world, to allow buyers and sellers to transact business. Now they've thrown a monkey wrench in. And when y'all come back from the break, I'm gonna answer all the questions and we're gonna talk about how you communicate if your seller is paying and then why they should and why they shouldn't. Have you had any fun yet?
Yeah.
Are we doing good?
Yeah.
This is good stuff? They said they like it. If you'll take 10 minutes, we'll take 10 minutes and then we'll all be back. If you have questions, put them in the chat box. We'll cover them all. I promise. See you in 10. Wait.